We have weighted brow. Ground stomp range increased by 20%. Okay? We're going to start with ground stomp because it's the most boring and it's... Oh, ground stomp now rips open the ground, dealing damage to enemies in front of you. Maximum 2 charges. So, my ground stomp is this. Boom. Boom. That's really a long reach. For PvP, you'll understand why it's good. Where is it? Ground stomp. Okay. So, what this does, ground stomp now rips open the ground, dealing blah 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 damage to enemies in front of you. That's a pretty decent hit sometimes. When it crits, it's just like, oh, okay, well, I didn't even need to hit him with my cleave because the ground stomp killed him. Also, the 20% increased range, and I got 2% for my charb, which is just random. But, so that's my ground stomp. I use it to catch people and to mess with them, you know? Next, I'm using the whirlwind, where you now... Whirlwind's damage is increased by 10%, like I said, with the shoulders. So, with that 10% and the bonus from something we're about to talk about, you will have 40% increased damage on your whirlwind alone. And you will just shred. I'm talking like whirlwind damage increased by 10%. Boom. For each bleed on the enemy. I just got this chest, okay? Up to a maximum of 30%. Check this out. I just got this. Manifold Gore. Triple. Beautiful, beautiful piece of armor, right? But what we want is this. Whirlwind damage increased by 10% for each bleed on the enemy up to a maximum of 30%. So, get back into it. As I said before, we got the shoulders with the whirlwind damage increased by 10%. I just threw those on there. You can also run these shoulders here, which also synergizes really great with the build, but I just wanted to get the most damage I could on my whirlwind, basically. So these are the other ones I was running. So now the bleed effect spreads to 2 nearby enemies when it expires, which helps you upkeep that 30% extra damage also. So it's really kind of a, do I want a little more damage on my whirlwind, or, you know, is 30 enough? And then do I just want to try and sustain that better? So that's that. And then Virulent Fist as my offhand. The Virulent Fist is self-explanatory. People explode when you kill them. This is great for PvE. I don't necessarily want it for PvP because you don't have people clumped up that much. So for PvP, I usually run either that, but then you have to use Wrath of the Berserker. We're not using that in this build. I know it sounds crazy, but there's a way you could probably get it in, but in PvP, then you sacrifice your other Undying Rage, which, you know, either you have a movement and a Wrath of the Berserker, or you have Undying Rage. So yeah, that is the build I would run. I would try to work in Wrath of the Berserker, or I would just buff your cleave more. Cleave damage. Like, straight raw damage. So if we're going in PvP, you go to whirlwind now and you look. Become a whirlwind of steel, continually striking all nearby enemies, blah 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 blah. Using whirlwind slowly consumes its energy, which recovers while whirlwind is not in use. You do that much damage while moving at 70% reduced speed. Wow. So now, instead, you're just running it. Like, you're going as fast as you possibly can. You might even be going faster than you can run because it effectively removes your... Thank you for the follow, recurring smoo. Dude, it literally continues... It removes your movement impairing effects. And if I'm wrong about that, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right because I've seen it happen. So let's test it. Let's get down to business. Did I forget anything else? We got Flesh Splitter for PvP. We'll use Virulent Fist for PvE. We got our Ground Stomp with the big slammy face job. We've got... Right now, I'm trying out Flagellant set. Flagellant set. I don't have a 6-piece on it right now, but I'm just basically running a 4-piece so that my bleeds do more damage, my whirlwind does more damage, my ground stomp does more... no. My whirlwind and my bleeds do more damage. Like, solely. And that's what we want. Thank you, Pootie Dog, for the follow. Alright. Next, we have... nothing. It's just basically CR from there. Like, whatever my highest thing was. So, nothing special on the left side. The right side, we've all seen. You can scroll back if you missed it. Let's... Can we PvP right now? Is that a thing? Okay, right? Like, these are just bleeds on a 235 Rift. Like, I'm only using the bleed. And, like, a couple ground stomps. So, here's the test. And I'm going to show you perfectly how it works. You ready? We are going to add some bleeds. Thank you for the follow, Slippery Papri. Alright, check this out. Alright, hold on. I didn't have Undying Rage on. Okay. We have bleeds on. So normally... Oh! Shit. Maybe this is too high to show you guys on, but I just need to focus. Okay. This is a little bit embarrassing, I'm not gonna lie. Let's go! So, with no bleeds on. Nobody's got bleeds. It looks like 3733 is what we're hitting with on Whirlwind, okay? Can we all agree with that? And we're critting for about 7,600. Okay. Now, with some bleeds and a shielded enemy, of course. Oh, 9,900. Those enemies died. So it literally just increases your raw damage on Whirlwind 10% for every bleed you have on one person. So if you have one bleed on this guy, one bleed on that guy, and one bleed on that guy, you do 30% more damage to all of these guys. That's insane. Does anybody know about this? Am I the only one? Like, you just spam cleave and whirlwind. Cleave, whirlwind. Cleave, whirlwind. Cleave, whirlwind. Cleave, whirlwind. Cleave, whirlwind. And, like... I really wish PvP was up so I could show you some puzzle. I think that there is Ancient Arena tonight. Is that accurate, guys? I think it is. Do you ever just like take a sip of seltzer and it's all foam? That was so weird. Ugh. So this literally is the highest damage I've ever, like... Granted, I can get some higher numbers here and there if I go a heavy lacerate build with a furious charge and a knock up and blah blah blah, but you're starting to see a lot more synergies pop out, guys. Like,